Good morning and welcome to our live crafting session this morning. My name is Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the Midlands of the UK. Thank you for joining me this morning. We are using a brand new release of products called Framed Florets. That's the name of the stamp set and the dies, and I showed it to you and introduced it to you yesterday, and this was the card that I made quickly yesterday evening, featuring the designer series paper and the stamp which I coloured in to coordinate with that backing paper in Balmy Blue and Evening Evergreen. So I'm just going to do a slightly different variation on that today, using some more of the papers and a different stamp. Morning, Catherine. I also have some news to share with you, which I'll do after I've done my live crafting. So the Framed Florets has six, I beg your pardon, floral images, including foliage. And these can really be whatever you want them to be. I think you could make these, if you layered these up, they could be poinsettias if you wanted them to. We've got some just plain foliage here. This particular stamp coordinates with the papers. And this is one of the sheets. I'm actually using the reverse of this sheet. And this pink set of flowers here in polished pink is the exact same as the stamp, and because we have a die to match, you can use that die to cut out that set of flowers if you're not keen on fussy cutting. So it does match that one. It also matches this Blushing Bride one. So there's that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. I've already cut a piece of this off. The rest you could fussy cut if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. But the reverse of this has got this lovely Balmy Blue foliage design, and that's what I'm using today. Morning, Jeanette. Thanks for joining us. My phone is on some sort of weird go slow, so I will let it go slow. So some of the oval dies included in this bundle is the one that I used yesterday, and I cut out this piece in white and also an Evening Evergreen, and it's this piece that I'm going to use today. So what I like about this is when you do the die cuts, you get so many different layers. So you get the aperture, you get this element, and then you get the center circle as well, or oval I should say. So what I'm going to do for today's one is I have a Balmy Blue base card and a piece of white card that measures 10 by 14.35 centimeters. These are obviously fit for UK sizes. I've then taken this layer here, 9.5 by 13.85, and I've cut the die cut oval. So if I put this back together, that's how it started as a sheet, and I just die cut that for time. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to switch out this oval frame there. These will then get used for something else. I guess if I'd been clever, I could have cut it out with that bit in the centre, but sometimes that's just going a step too far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this set of flowers today and die cut them and affix them top and bottom, and then put a sentiment in the middle. Sentiment in the middle I'm going to put is "Thank you with all my heart." So let's do a little bit of stamping. I've got some colours ready for colouring in, and it's just a small area to colour in, so I'm not going to keep you waiting too long, I hope. I still don't know why my Facebook is not doing anything. Never mind, I will just have to look at the screen. So I'm just inking this one up for the first time. And if you caught me yesterday, you'll know that these papers and the stamps and dies will be our class in a box for November, because they have some that are Christmassy and some that are non-Christmassy, so you can create these cards as Christmas or not, depending on what you need to do. I think I'll get both out of there, which I will, like so. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer this together. I'm not going to stick it down in case I need to do something else, like turn it over because I make a mistake. So I'm just going to leave those there layers there, ink up my sentiment, just try it on here, and I'm using Early Espresso. You could really use any dark colour. Could use Night of Navy. That's what I said yesterday, because there's Night of Navy in that other paper. But I'm going to go with this. Just make sure it's well inked up. I haven't popped a pad underneath here, but I could do. And I just want this, hopefully, fairly centrally and fairly straight. Yes, got there. Just clean that off. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put this bit back together again in a minute. Just put it to one side. Just quickly going to colour these two sets of flowers in, and I'm going to use a little bit of the blue. Let's do this one here. I've got balmy blue, I've also got polished pink and pale papaya. There we go. Hi Scylla. Oh, hi Lisa. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so I'm just colouring this in very quickly. As I say, I use Early Espresso for the stamping, which if you follow me you'll know is always my ink pad of choice rather than a black. Okay, let's do this one here in polished pink. Add a little bit of brightness. So this is the dark, I'm just using this in the centres, like so, and then light on the outside. Like that. And I've got this little one here, so I might do that pink as well, and then the other one in pale papaya. My normal colour for that would be, go-to colour would be Mango Melody. I'm a little bit predictable, aren't I? Right, let's put a little pink inside there. And then this is dark pale papaya. I'm going to use that for this one here. I think that's a flower as well. That one. Really ought to be pink, shouldn't it? 'Cause to match those two. And then the rest are just, you've got these little ones that could be buds, so you could make those colours, or you could colour them in your foliage colour. So let's just add this one on. That's that one. So light pale papaya, just to fill that in. They're quite small images, so if you're not a big fan of colouring and shading, just use one. You know, one of your coloured pens. You could use pencils. And watercolour pencils. You could use ink and a blending brush, ink and an aqua painter, as long as you had waterproof ink. Okay, and let's add a bit of foliage. I've got soft succulent again, just for a change. Or shall I do, I'm going to do a nice bright parakeet party. Why not? I was going to go for soft succulent, but let's go bright. So literally just a small touch of colour each of those. Now you could change these colours if you wanted to. You could have different sets of greens. As it's only a small area, I'm going to keep it the same. Okay, nearly there, I promise. And you can leave some of these edges white, give it a little bit of highlight as well. That's one. Oh, I left that one out. There we go. So to confuse you, the stamp set and the die set are called Framed Florets. And the whole bundle, which you can buy on one number, which is the stamps that you see here, the dies, another stamp set, papers and embellishments. The whole collection is called Fitting Florets. But the details are on my website already. You can just go to jeminicraft.co.uk, and I'll also add the links on Facebook as well to make it easier. Okay, let's just colour this one in, and then I'm just going to quickly die cut these out and put the card together. Really pretty. And I am going to stamp my envelope while I'm here. think I'm going to put it on this piece here. Just going to open it up and just look really pretty on there. And I'll colour this after we've finished, so you don't have to watch me colour it again. I could do let's try that one here and one here. Hi Glenda. There we are. That's on the back of the envelope, which I will colour in. Okay, let's pop this ink pad away. Put my pens out of the way. And then I'm just going to die cut those pieces. So there's my plates. Here is the die. And it also die cuts some other foliage, so if you wanted to add more foliage to this, you could do. As this is quite a small design, I'm not going to add it to this particular one, but I'm just going to pop these through. So I've got my base plate, and then I'm just going to pop that on there like that. Move this out of the way. And I'm sorry, this is just off the edge, but it's no good on my paper, it moves around too much. It's got feet to help it stick to the table, but not to grid paper. There we go. So there's one. It's going to go up there, and then this one. So it's a really easy stamp set to use. I do like the fonts as well, in particular. That sort of mix of capitals and lowercase. Did move a little bit. Wasn't quite. You obviously haven't had enough coffee to keep it straight. There we go. Okay, so I hope everybody is well, and if it's morning for you, I hope you have a good day ahead. If, like Kerry, it's evening, then I hope you have a good evening ahead. Okay. Right, so here's my two pieces that are going to go either side. So let's pop these layers down. So I've got a balmy blue layer here, and then this is going to go on top. Just grab some working glue, third time lucky. Go. Let's get this the right way up. So I just laid it on temporarily while I stamped the sentiment in the centre, or near enough the centre. I could have die cut this piece first, but as I was using a white piece for the backing, like so, for the layer, there didn't seem any point in cutting that out separately. But if you wanted to layer it up differently, different heights, you could do. This is going to go flat, like so. And then I've got these that I can position, so you could do it this way if you want. You could have it going sort of across this corner depending on your sentiment. These I'm obviously going to put so that they work around the edges of my sentiment like that, and I'm going to pop those up on dimensionals. And you could add some ribbon that would look very nice to that, or baker's twine. There we go. So I'm just pop 3 dimensionals in there. Doesn't really matter which way they go, does it? There's that one. And that one. And you could obviously fussy cut this set of flowers out as well. If you don't have the dies, you could easily fussy cut it. Obviously didn't do it quite aligned up there on the left, but it will do. And I forgot the frame. Oh dear. Let's see if I can tuck it in. Oh, great, best plans and all that. So what I might be able to do is it will definitely tuck under there. So I can either cut it and tuck it under, which I think I will do because I don't really want to pull this off. So let's just mark it. Let's see if I can cut it here and here. Oh dear. Best laid plans. Okay, so that will fit there. Yep, and that will tuck underneath. And then yep, we can recover it. Thanks, Lisa. Nobody said you're missing your thing. Right, I think I'm going to trim this a little bit more. And that will definitely work. So rather than put glue on here, I'm just going to put a narrow layer of glue around here. So it goes on the inside of this edge. So just a small amount. And then I'm just going to put a tiny bit on this edge and here. Because what I don't want to do is put it through and then have the glue moving it around. So okay, tuck that one in. Just going to use the point of my scissors to hold that in place. And then that's it. Saved. That's better. I was thinking it was missing something, and now I know what it was. So you could easily do these frames, obviously in silver and gold, and if you literally just cut half a dozen frames in half a dozen different colours, You've just got so many options because you've got these centerpieces as well. So you've got this one, you've got that one, and you've got the aperture it leaves, and that's only one of the 3 oval dies, because this one here has hearts. This doesn't cut out the center, it just does hearts. And then this is the one that we've used today, and then this one here cuts out this decorative edge, and it cuts out the centerpiece with some embossing as well. And then obviously you'd have the aperture, so this cuts out the frame, the middle, and the bit, leaves the bit around it. I'm not sure I'd be any good at brain surgery, but thank you anyway. So I could add a little bit of bling to this to sparkle it up. I could add some Wink of Stella as well, which I didn't do yesterday, just to add a bit of glitter. Just going to do it on these pink ones. And remember, if you're doing it on ink, it will pick up some of the colour of ink if you're doing a lot of it, which I'm going to do on there as well. If you've got a dark ink, so just be careful. And I appreciate you're probably not going to see this either. There we go. And maybe I just need to add a little bit of bling. Silver or gold? Gold. Two. Three. There we go. So there is today's card with our coordinating envelope, which I will colour in, but you don't need to watch me colour that in because it's going to be the same as these. And this was our card from yesterday with the sentiment inside, and again the stamped image and the finished envelope. So the reason I did a thank you card is because I have got a thank you to shout out to all of you, whether you're a team member, a customer, a follower, follow me on YouTube or Facebook, whether you're a friend who supported me, because Stampin' Up announced their top achievers, and they do that country by country, and our financial year ended 31st of September. So for our forthcoming event, they announced the top people in each country, and I was delighted to be recognised in all 4 of the categories. So I have to do this because I can't remember what they are or what number I was. So in the UK only, I was number 11 overall, number 10 for my sales for that year, number 17 for team building. So team building is categorized as adding people to your team and have them continue in the team for approximately a year, rather than anybody who just joins. You're not recompensed on that. And then number 20 for leadership, and leadership basically means people that have been with you and who then go on to progress, whether they progress by sales or building their own teams. So all of that is down to you, my followers, and my team, my customers and everybody, for keeping me going and supporting me in whatever way, whether it's buying a class in a box, whether it's just watching me on YouTube, because obviously that keeps me going and keeps me and you up to date. So a big shout out and a big thank you to everybody for that. I will pop a post on my Facebook page. Thanks, Jeanette. Oh, thank you, Glenda. It was a tough year last year, but I'm back on the up, hopefully. So it's just nice to be recognised for the work that we do, and this goes worldwide, so they have achievements for each of the countries that we're in, and it's always nice to see my colleagues' names up there in lights. So thank you so much for everyone. Thank you for your kind comments. As I say, I will pop that on Facebook, but I wanted to announce it here first. So that is today's card. So I will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow I will be opening one of our new kits to show you in more detail. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and that will be Thursday at 7 p.m. on the 3rd of November. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like the card. I hope you like the designs. They're really easy to achieve with the papers. The papers do a lot of the work here, obviously, and with the stamp sets as well. So thank you, everybody. Do take care. Have a great day ahead, and I look forward to crafting with you again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye for now, everyone.